Today, I stuck up for myself. I spoke up for myself, and it felt great. I feel amazing. I feel phenomenal. My inner child definitely feels happy, bro. Because growing up, I wasn't really speaking up for myself like that. I wasn't speaking up for myself like that, and um, sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, you should just speak up for yourself. There's definitely times where you have to definitely read the situation, but for the most part, speak up for yourself. Because if nobody else does, who else will? Think about it. Growing up, I had no one to speak up for me, man. I had nobody. So, you know what happened? Nothing. But today I spoke up for myself and I feel great. There's points and times where you need to stick up for yourself. For an example, like boundaries. People should automatically respect your boundaries. Boundaries are something that it should be mutual. And if someone isn't respecting your boundaries, speak up. Speak up for yourself. Your boundaries are your number one. Your boundaries are your number one. If people do not respect your boundaries, automatically you got to speak up for yourself. Because if you don't, these same people will continue to step over it. Sometimes you might even have to violate somebody. You might have to actually violate an individual to the point where they actually, okay, I really can't be stepping over this person's boundaries. If violating isn't enough, then I don't know what is, because sometimes people just don't understand. People don't understand what boundaries are. And people need to learn what boundaries are when people set them. For an example, I moved from a spot today, right? I moved from a spot and I moved to another spot so I could, be at peace, so I could be alone. And the same situation reoccurred, right? The same situation reoccurred. And to get my point across, I had to violate the individual. I had no choice but to, because my boundaries were not being respected. Growing up, I never really had boundaries like that. I never really enforced my boundaries, but now my boundaries are being reinforced. And now and to be honest, in that moment, I did not care if I was being seen as the bad guy. I was not. Because truly your boundaries need to come first. Your boundaries, your peace over mind, all of that comes before another person. Your boundaries are number one. Always, regardless of the message of the video, speak up for yourself. It's so important. Especially this video is specifically for someone who has trouble speaking up for themselves. Please do not be afraid. Forget what other people gotta say. Forget what other people may see. Forget what other people may think about you. Speak up for yourself. You have to. You have to. I promise you will feel great after you do it. But this is definitely a message for someone. Speak up for yourself. It's important. Set those boundaries. Don't forget to set those boundaries too. Don't forget. And speak up on how you feel. Tell people how you feel. Tell people. Regardless of if they don't care, let them know straight up how you feel. Sometimes you have to be blunt with people because sometimes people can't comprehend. Sometimes people don't understand. You have to be blunt with people and tell them for what it is. Sure, you may have enemies. You may have enemies after that. Sure, you may have burnt a bridge after that. But after that, hopefully that person understands what they did, or hopefully that person realizes that people have boundaries and people have feelings. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I spoke up on how I felt today too, which which I mean by speak up on how, like, just, you can speak up in general, but specifically on your feelings too. Never let your feelings just bottle up. Tell someone how you feel. Tell them how you feel. I did that today. I feel great. Tell someone how you feel. If they did, regardless of the situation, speak up on how you feel, speak up in general, and build boundaries. All right, I'm out of here.